This is Karita Parks bringing you your Week 6 Ravens rundown as the Baltimore Ravens get ready to take the international stage in London. They have been there all week, getting ready for the Tennessee Titans. And this game is a bit of a rivalry of its own, which stems back to the AFC playoffs a couple of years ago. Not necessarily a divisional rivalry, but these two teams, they have a little bit of bad blood between them. So it'll be very interesting to watch. You can guarantee that it will be an intense game. The Baltimore Ravens have been in London all week long. They're taking a different approach than 2017, which is the last time they played there, and it didn't go too well. So they started early so that they can get prepared and get their bodies right and just adjust to the time change and such. There's no proof what method works. The Tennessee Titans, they left on Thursday, got to London on Friday. So maybe we'll find out based on which team wins, which strategy was the best. The Ravens also started out this week in the community with a community event. So they're really having a good time in London, but also focus on the task at hand, which is beating the Titans. The Ravens do not want to lose 2 in a row. They had a rough showing against the Steelers where they really beat themselves. 5 drops, 3 turnovers. So I would like to see Lamar Jackson air it out again to his wide receivers and let them redeem themselves. I think that he definitely still has trust in them. And to just get that out the way early, I believe will be key. Also, stopping Derrick Henry, that is going to be the task of Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. So the Ravens have plenty to deal with the Titans. We'll see who comes out on top. But like I said, the Ravens are not looking to drop 2 in a row. This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television. Make sure that you follow us on social media for all your Ravens content.
Good. Nice. Come on. Good. Who's up first? What round you want to run? Go ahead, run the fade. All right. Go ahead. I said fade. Let's go. That was horrible, dog. I didn't see that first one. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all. Here's Marlon. Let me see it. Come here. I like that. Break it up. Get in. Ravens on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ravens! Okay, good to see everybody. I do feel like Ted Lasso right now. This is really cool. We don't have this. Our guys just stand around in a circle. This is way better. So it's an honor to be here. We just had a really good practice. We really appreciate Tottenham putting us up here and allowing us to take part in these amazing facilities. I mean, this facility is eye-opening. Our guys are very excited about it. Saw some of the academy players down there watching practice. They stayed the whole time. Of course, they were pretty intrigued by Tucker and the guys kicking. So that was fun, and they went over and said hi and spent some time together. So seeing the kids out here for the camp, that's really neat to see too. And I know our players are going to enjoy working with those kids. So it's a joy to be here. We had a very good practice. Guys were in high spirits, and we're just preparing for the game, and we're looking forward to playing on Sunday. So what questions do you have?
So welcome back to London, Coach. Frustrating loss last week, but having watched the All-22, there is a lot to be positive about. Lamar had the highest pro football grade of all QBs in Week 5, and although the result doesn't reflect that, having watched the film yourself, and what, in your opinion, do you think you can implement into the game on Sunday?
No question. The thing about football, in terms of winning football, you can do a lot of things well, and we are, and you can be really close and it not look good, And obviously, we've got to score more than 10 points. I mean, that's something that we're very capable of doing. We should have done. Should have separated early in the game, and we didn't do it because we didn't do the things we needed to do. We didn't protect the football. We didn't score in the red zone. So just too many mistakes, pretty much holding ourselves back. So that's what we'll be looking to try to do on Sunday.
Coach, last time you were here was 2017. You suffered a fairly bad defeat to the Jags. What would it mean to you to kind of right that wrong and get that first win in London?
Right. It made me feel a lot better about the country, I can tell you that, Every time I see a picture of Great Britain on the map, I have that memory of that game, So that was a tough one for us. It was a few years ago. Obviously, it's a new team, but every game is important. These games are exciting. We enjoy coming out here and playing, but, for us, it's the next game, and every game matters. We play 17 games, and at the end, these games are going to be big in the standings. So it's a tough team we're playing. The Titans are very physical. We have a rivalry against them. We play them a lot. We know them. They know us. So it would be very meaningful to get a win, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Trade the Independent. You took a different approach this time, coming full week. Do you feel like you're having a more normal week preparation?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's normal or not, Jerry, but it's we're getting settled in. I think we're all sleeping just a little better than we did a day or two ago, and we're getting a feel for the time. I think we're going to be better for it. So we'll see. I mean, there's no science on it. Teams have come over here early and done well and not done well. They've come on Thursday and done well and not done well. So hopefully this is something that works for us.
Coach, Kyle Hamilton had a historic day a couple of weeks ago against the Colts. He was everywhere across the field. 3 sacks in the first half, the most by a player in a half in the team history. How important is he in this Mike McDonald defense, in particular, given that this is a rivalry game against the Titans?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Kyle's emerging as an impact player. There's no doubt. He's just a second-year player. He's just beginning his second year, and he was a high draft pick. We had high expectations for him. He had to learn some tough lessons. I think he'd be the first to tell you last year early in the season, but he learned them. He's very smart. He's got a growth mindset, big time, and that's one of the reasons, besides his talent, I think that he's making such progress. But he's a factor out there. I mean, Tennessee and everybody else has got to know where number 14 is.
John. In terms of this season, obviously 3-2, you've had 3 divisional games already. In 2019, you also had 3 divisional games within your first 6, and it was a 4-2 record, funnily enough. So if you beat the Titans on Sunday, it'd be 4-2 again. Do you think having those 3 games early on, they're all tough, divisional opponents, the Titans as well, a rival, could you sort of replicate and have, a good season like 2019 when you finished 14-2?
Right, well, that'd be great. That's kind of what we'd like to do. One game at a time, obviously. That was our mindset then. But it would have been great to be 3-0 in the division on the road, but we didn't get it done. We didn't do what we needed to do to win the game, even though we were capable of doing it. So the next one up is this one, and if we could come out of here 4-2, that'd be great.
John, you had a lot of guys talking about, felt like you guys gave the game away last week. Curious, when you have that situation, what's the message to the team going into the next game and trying to sort of overcome that?
Yeah, well, we had a 45-minute team meeting today, so that was the message, So probably you guys don't have that much time, do you? But the message was that, essentially, and what we're capable of doing and becoming and what we need to do to get there. It's a fine line, between good and great and breaking bad. And that's the difference in terms of any kind of competition. So, the idea is we're a good football team. We're capable of being great, and let's go to work and do the things we need to do, every little detail, to take that next step and become a great football team. And you do that week by week. It's a week-to-week league. You don't all of a sudden you're there and all of a sudden you stay there. You got to do it time and time again, and that's what we're trying to do.
Welcome to London.
I appreciate it.
You're a player that so many fans here have been wanting to see for a while now. What does it mean to finally be playing here in London?
Man, it means a lot. Just for the NFL football to be going across, going global. It's amazing, and for me to have fans in London, I never dreamed about that. That's amazing to me.
Lamar, with this being your first game in London, what can British fans who may be watching you for the first time expect from you this Sunday?
Oh man, you guys gonna have to watch the game to find out. Watch it, be present. I believe it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing.
Mark, would you, you and the other guys obviously had yesterday off. What did you do around London?
I walked the strip. I don't know exactly where I was, but I walked the strip. Bought my mom something. That's it. Just hung out with my guys.
Last week you had the highest PFF grade of any quarterback in the league. Todd spoke about wanting more explosive plays. We saw that on that great third and 18 where you scrambled and made the downfield play to Zay. Do you feel that the offense is now on the brink of sort of clicking and being explosive week in, week out, and confident of putting on a show in London on Sunday?
I believe we headed to the right track. Each and every week we've been having explosive plays, but we haven't been consistent, and that's the biggest emphasis for us right now. And I believe, Sunday in London it'll be a lot of explosive plays, and hopefully we'll be consistent.
Hello, so you guys are running a new offensive scheme under Todd Monken as well, and you have the addition of wide receiver Zay Flowers, who's obviously proven to be a great addition to the team. How are you adapting to the scheme, and how well do you think it brings out the best of your ability?
I believe I'm adapting well. I'm making checks, hearing my guys in the numbers, letting those guys catch and run. What I've been trying to practice on, throughout this process with having a new system. But just got to be more consistent, all of us.
And how well do you describe your relationship with Mark Andrews? Obviously, you guys have got a tight-knit bond.
I believe it's like bread and butter.
John mentioned the team meeting that you guys had. You said it was about 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. What did you take out of that meeting?
Coaches feeling how we're feeling. We should be 5-0, I believe. We just got to put the points on the board, protect the ball. That was one of the main things he was saying to us. Every week we done had a turnover, whether it's me or someone else, and the ball is our prized possession. And with us having possession of the ball, we need to put points on the board, protect as much as we could. And our defense, they're doing a great job, so we need to help them out, if anything.
Odell, are you a fan of these London trips? Some players like it, some players don't. Where do you fall on these London trips?
I've been over here a few times, so I definitely think London's a beautiful place. Don't really see much sun, but I'm used to that over here. And I think the trip is great. It's a great atmosphere. It is definitely difficult to get adjusted to times and all of that and find your rhythm, but I think life's set up that way where you have to learn how to adjust. And this is just one of those situations, and coming off of a tough loss, a team just has to find a way to be resilient and keep driving, knowing it's a long journey, long season. And this is just a situation where we have now, but definitely playing in a game in 2016, it was funny to be there. It was the Giants versus the Rams, and I'm seeing Dolphins jerseys, Jets. Like, everybody's wearing their team, but the energy is still amazing. And I know that the fans over here are very excited about it. So it is a definite blessing and a unique opportunity. And, just looking forward to it.
Odell, you're a kind of an international star. Is this something that you kind of relish when you play these international games? I mean, this is a chance to grow the game, that you have a chance to be one of those people that helps grow this game internationally.
Absolutely. I remember when it was just kind of starting, I think 2016, and before that there was like a long break between the games over in London, and I remember going to Germany, and I had like an event or something, and the streets went absolutely crazy, and just to feel that in my heart was a crazy feeling. I remember these kids followed me on bikes for miles, pedaling. I'm sweating. I tell the driver, just pull over, because like they've already did a Lance Armstrong race all the way to come meet. So I was like, just pull over, and you met them, and just for this game to be able to grow and see it, be loved by people outside of America. it's a true testament to, the game of football, which is such a beautiful thing. So, anything that I could do to help, these kids over here, and you see them, and, they want to feel what the football is like and throw with them. It's a beautiful thing to see a game that could touch so many people.
Odell, just kind of, if you could update us on the status of your ankle. I know it's sort of, bothering you a little bit, where you're at with that.
Yeah, it's been tough. I've, excuse my language, but I've, worked my ass off for a long time since that Super Bowl, and just to have like a small setback, which you never saw coming, and it's just unfortunate, and now kind of just getting readjusted, and it's behind you now, but maybe sitting there and in hindsight thinking could have waited one more week, and to just get your feet back underneath you. It's a blessing to be able to be out on the field, but it never feels good when you're not at your very, very best. So I feel much better this week, even though there was a lot of traveling. It's hard. Stay up on hydration, stay up on a regular schedule. There's so many things that you have to adapt to, but there's no time for excuses or putting blame here or there. I'm a man. I take my wins with my losses. And I just got to come out and just be better, plain and simple, and do whatever I can to help this team win. Starting from my energy day to day, a lot of things that I feel like I could just do better. And I just got to accept that challenge, embrace it, and be exactly who I know I am.
And just as a follow-up, there was a lot made about the turf, the artificial turf last week. What are the adjustments you have to make when you go from grass to turf and so forth?
It's something that I'm sure people have seen me talk about on Twitter and this and that, and then, it sounds like I'm the one being a baby and complaining, yet you see a lot of major injuries happen on turf. I mean, it's not even, I don't know. I'll leave the dilemma up for the Twitter warriors and all that, but it's just, just look at the results. Look at how many major injuries have happened on it, and, God willing, like there's none this game, but it's just not a surface that's, I think great for players to play on. I think they make enough money to where, putting grass in stadiums is really not that big of a thing. I think it's not hard to keep up with. And I just feel like if we're talking about the safety of players, I think grass would be a better surface area for them. But again, like I say, life throws you curveballs. You just got to adjust, and turf is what we're playing on this week, and it is what it is. It's not really up to us. But I just think that there's a solution. Whatever it is, I hope that one day they figure that out.
So what's kind of your impressions of just the facility here at Tottenham?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing facility. Just being here and seeing it, they definitely take good care of their players in the fields, man. They're pretty sweet. Like, even the ones we didn't get the chance to practice on, like, they're pretty sweet. So I'm a fan.
Roquan, we just saw David Ojabo come in, and unfortunately he can't play this weekend, but when he does get fit, when he is healthy and ready to go again, how good can he be in this league?
Yeah, no, I think Ojabo has a lot of potential. It's just more so about, being healthy and whatnot. So I'm very excited for him to get back out there when he's healthy, because I think he can do a lot of good things. And we've seen that before when he's actually on the field. He definitely can produce. So as long as he get healthy, man, definitely love to see him back out there.
Roquan, John Harbaugh was pretty specific about why they chose to travel when they did. How do you feel physically now that you've had 3 nights sleep almost in London already? How do you feel your body reacting?
Oh, very well. Like, I've been going to sleep like, I feel like, a UK, but I've been I don't know how good that actually was, but I've been going to sleep like around like 11 or so. So it's kind of been like, and waking up around like 7, 8, like 8 more so in the morning. So it's been pretty good for me, and I feel like I'm adjusted on the time zone. I think tonight will be probably the best night of sleep, whereas I feel like I've gotten even more acclimated. So I'm excited about that.
Did you play in London at all early in your career?
Yeah, I did back in 2019, Chicago versus Vegas. There was the Oakland in at that time.
Who has the best British accent on the team, and who has the worst?
I probably have the worst. And then, no, I'm sure some other people have the worst because I can get by with a couple. I can say a few words here and there, but I heard Tuck talk today, and Tuck actually, a couple of the nice people over at the hotel was like, "Oh my God," they was like, "His was pretty good," you know what I mean? So like, yeah, but mine is not the best.
What are your good ones that you can get by with?
Let's have a proper English breakfast. No, that's probably not good. That's probably not good. A water, like yeah.
As someone who has already been to London, what were probably the craziest questions you were asked by your teammates?
Well, some teammates, it's kind of funny, it has never really been outside of America. Like, it's kind of funny. I'm just like, bro, there's so many dudes that make, you know, crazy means for themselves, or create a great life for themselves, and never really get out to see other parts of the world. So I never quite understood that. So guys would be like, you know, sometimes be like, okay, what do they speak? You know, the language that they speak and things like that. So the language was probably the best one when you think English, England, you know, so when you think it from that perspective. But yeah, you hear some crazy things in the locker room, I'll tell you that.
Roquan, what sticks out to you about this Titans offense?
One more time, sorry?
What sticks out to you about this Titans offense?
Physical team, you know, physical team, and that's something we pride ourselves on as well, knowing they have a really good back. Henry's been doing it a really long time, and good quarterback in Tannehill, as well as, you know, D-Hop been, you know, one of the best in the game for a while. So they definitely got some pieces over there, and it's just going to be about, you know, doing our job, stopping the run first and foremost, and what they definitely lean on all game long, and then, you know, eliminating D-Hop as well, because they definitely going to try to get him the ball. So it'll be a great match for us, a great challenge, so looking forward to it.
Hey, guys. You know, I'm blessed to be back home, blessing to be here, very close to my heart. And I just want to say, man, it's unfortunate I can't be out there with my brothers, but working day by day, you know, working real hard to be out there, and through God's grace, I'll be out there soon.
How is the health, David? What's the kind of timetable looking like for you?
Just working day by day, man. You know, no timetable right now, and just working hard to get back out there.
David, are you confident that you will be back at some point this season, that this is not a season-ending injury?
Yeah, God willing, yeah.
David, obviously the second year in a row you've had to deal with a significant injury. How difficult has that been, and through this process for you?
Hey, man, everything's in God's hands. You know, you control what you can, and you know, keep my mentals up by praying and staying close to my family.
Hey, what's this week like for you? You know, I know it's not quite the homecoming that you envisioned, but you still get to come back here and you know, be surrounded by family. What has this experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's a blessing. You know, I got to catch up with my family. First time seeing them this year. You know, I only go home about once a year, so you know, I'm blessed to be able to come back and see them, and also just experience this whole thing with my team too, my brothers. So you know, it's an experience of a lifetime, and I'm sure they're having fun.
Do you remember watching international games as a kid? You know, how great is it that the NFL is kind of working to expand the sport here in Europe, and what are your memories of watching any international games or NFL games as a kid?
Yeah, I seen a couple highlights in that. So to be a part of something like this, man, it's definitely special. And, you know, I'm confident that it's gonna, you know, keep growing and keep expanding to the world.
There's more and more kids coming out of Nigeria going into like D1 schools. What's the potential for Nigerian kids?
Yeah, there's been a lot, you know, just outreach. You know, my guy OC, he has an NFL Africa going, so you know that's a good little, you know, spot that people like my peoples could go, you know, and get a better opportunity, and you know, hopefully reach, you know, the level, you know, I'm at right now.
Can you elaborate a little bit on just how much family you do have and kind of what you've been able to do while you've been in town with them?
Yeah, just my immediate family, you know, mom, brother, you know, dad, sister, and just, man, we were big on family time, so just spending time catching up. We know our time's very limited, so, you know, just honestly, we've been at home. We went to one dinner, but just been at home, just, you know, kind of catching up and embracing each other.
How much, I mean, you know, you talk about dealing with injury. How much do you lean on them, you know, being that it's a challenging thing for you to go through right now? You know, is it a lot kind of leaning on them while you have a chance?
Yeah, it's critical, man. Family is the most important thing in this life. So, you know, just to be able to tune out like the outside noise and just know what's really important, what it comes down to.
Were there any other sports that you were into? Like, obviously, we're in the Tottenham Hotspur training ground. Were you a Spurs supporter growing up, or was it only NFL?
I won't lie, I was a soccer player, and definitely Manchester United was mine. I know, hey, look, I knew. I know they're not doing too good now, but yeah, I was a Man U fan. But yeah, I kind of fizzled away as I started playing football. Nah. Yeah, more NFL. Yeah, just focus on
Can I
that.
get a quick favourite player from United from when you were younger?
I seen Ronaldo, that Ronaldo Rooney era when they were together. I went. My dad took us to a live game, so I'll never forget that one.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Good practice. Been a really good week. I really appreciate Tottenham, the Hotspurs, and all the people here, from security right on through to Coach Ange and everybody else. Has just been outstanding. So we are grateful, and we're ready to play. We're pointing towards Sunday. All eyes on the game, and we're looking forward to it. So what questions do you have?
How do you, now that you've been here, seems like pretty much a full, 5 days now, time adjusted, how do you think you and the rest of the players kind of feel?
Well, I gauge it by me. If I feel good, they feel good, right? That's how I feel. I think we're all kind of on the same deal. So I feel great, got good rest, and guys are in good spirits. Really picked up yesterday and carried over to today, so we're in a good place.
Hey, Coach. Yesterday you had the interaction with the coach and Postecoglou. How was that interaction, sharing ideas with a coach in soccer?
Yeah, it's awesome, but I feel like it's interesting. You talk about the world of sport. It's a big world out there, yet the world of sport is kind of a small community, and we're talking about coaching and players and how the staffs are organized, maybe, and how you relate to your guys and the different nuances of it. Yet it's still the same thing. It's still coaching and mentoring, maybe, and game planning and all the kind of challenges in family. We talked about family quite a bit. He's got young kids, and talking about his family moving around. The last 15 years they've done a lot of moving around. So that was really interesting to hear about. So yeah, I'm going to be a fan of those guys now.
John, you guys obviously moved indoors today. Was that just because of all the rain yesterday? What was the thought behind it?
Yeah, it was both. I mean, it was supposed to kind of rain today anyway, and it did. Then it got nice, of course. So nice job, Chad. Very smooth. That's our Chad Steele, everybody. He actually does a great job. But then we decided to do it as a walkthrough type practice format, so that's what we did.
Coach, you mentioned the player spirits. How are your spirits? Because the last couple of press conferences, it seems like the 2017 game still haunts you a bit.
Well, I mean, it keeps getting brought up by all my people here. It's like they asked me over there, and I've been asked about it in the off season. Got asked about during training camp, and got asked about 3 weeks ago before we were even thinking about coming here. Then I got asked about it last week, and now I'm asked about it over here in England. So, yeah, I guess it's a big deal, but it's behind us. Last week is behind us. I mean, that's really how it works. That was 6 years ago. No, you don't forget. You don't forget. You never forget anything, because it all matters. It's so important to us. And yet we work so hard, And yet you got to move on to the next challenge. And the next challenge is the one that's right in front of us. It's the Tennessee Titans in an amazing stadium over there. Going to be an amazing crowd. We know we got to deal with crowd noise, and we got to deal with our opponent. So we're trying to focus on that.
I don't know that we've asked you about Keaton Mitchell since he's been activated. What have you seen from him, and could he be a factor when you're making your game plans for Sunday?
Yeah, he's doing good, doing a good job, and he could be a factor. We'll see how it goes. He was eligible possibly last week as well.
John, we haven't asked you too much about Adafe. I mean, he's not been, I know he doesn't practice at all this week. Any update kind of on, what he's going through right now? Because it's been, a few weeks.
Yeah, no, he's on point. He's been working really hard. I think it's just it's a process with that kind of an ankle sprain. And, when he's ready to go, he'll be ready, and it's kind of getting in that neighborhood now. So we'll see how he feels.
Speaking of being ready, you guys, are probably as healthy as you have been in a while. How important is that?
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, and then with that, guys getting back, and playing, just jump in there and play. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you jump in and have a great game. And sometimes, you got to kind of get a feel for it again. But all of our guys are working their way back, and I'm proud of them. I mean, they've done a great job of doing everything they can do to get back, be as healthy and strong as they can be. And we're very close to full strength. So that's a big deal. That's a plus. Proud of the guys that played it, and they're also good. So we're just going to throw it out there on Sunday and try to get after it.
How's it going, guys?
There's always a lot of talk about the time difference and the sleeping and everything. How do you feel like you and the rest of the guys have adjusted so far right now?
I think it's been for us, it's been a good decision to come early. And, I know the first couple of days it's tough to kind of get your bearings. And, I feel like now we're starting to feel pretty good, get acclimated to the time, zone. And that's not easy. So I think guys are getting good sleep. And I think we're pretty fortunate to have come early because it's not an easy thing to deal with.
How different is this to a West Coast game?
It's pretty different. Yeah. I think it's a little bit easier going that way than this way, just in terms of being able to get acclimated with the time. But I think it's a little bit harder coming out this way.
Hey Mark, Coach just mentioned that it's been a good experience. Like, you guys, the players, coach, everybody, like, sharing this trip has been for you guys, like, being good spirits for this game.
It's been awesome. He talked about it a little bit, just being, all ball. It's just been incredible to be around the guys and, just the bonding and experiencing London. This is my first time in London and really out of the country other than Mexico. So I've been enjoying it, taking it in, man. And the people here are awesome. It's different. And so you got to be able to absorb the culture and appreciate that part of it, and which I am. And I know that everybody else on this team is. And it's been a great trip. It's been a great trip being around the guys, and we look forward to this game. I think we're a focused group right now.
How does it feel to be kind of playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well, and obviously training these facilities?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful facility. They're top notch here, and we're thankful that they allowed us to come here and see it and practice on it. And so these guys are, like us, they're the best in the world at what they do. So a ton of respect for them, and a lot of respect for this facility. They do it well.
What stood out on the trip so far?
I could name probably about a million things, man. Just being at the hotel, being in that close-knit group has been awesome. But also, I went downtown to central London, and just seeing how that is, man, it's, like I said, it's different. It's almost like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a New York, Chicago type vibe, but different, And I thought it was cool. I thought the people were, all extremely nice, always willing to offer help and be straight to it, be straight to the point. I like that part about the people here in London. And I think I'll remember this trip for the rest of my life.
Mark, I know you were a soccer star before you focused on football. Did you have any aspirations of playing in the Premier League or anything like that?
I was definitely, way better at playing than I was watching, but I think, if I continued, I would have had more aspirations to go overseas. I had some buddies from my club that went over and did that sort of thing, but I know how tough it is, and being from America, we're not nearly as good, so.
Yeah. Mark, after a game, I know you guys have moved past the last week's game, but typically as a receiving core, they don't perform as well as do you kind of feel like you do, not thinking about it, but you want to kind of step up and really try to, rectify what happened last time?
I know we got a focused group, just kind of the mindset of everybody that receives the ball right now. We know the type of players that we have, and I think there's a hunger, and there's always been that. And I know the type of guys that we have to be resilient, be persistent, and but just focusing on the details because we know what we have, and it's time for us to go out there and do it, put our head down and go to work. I'm excited about that, man.
Mark, I know, this is an adjustment and everything, but do you almost feel like, and I guess you won't know until you play, but do you almost feel like this was almost a good week for this? Coming off a bad loss, you're kind of shielded from maybe some of the negativity of that loss if you were back in Baltimore hearing and listening about it. Do you feel that at all, that this was kind of a good week just to be bonding with your teammates and preparing for a football game?
That's like a loaded question. I think, having a win, under our belt in a game that we clearly should have won against a team like that. So, I don't think it's ever a good time, but I think it's been nice to be around the guys, and it's been nice to be able to bond. And but like I said, I think you look at what Odell said yesterday, just watching it through the media a little bit, and I think those guys have an incredible view and outlook of what we have to do and our job to be done, and all 11 guys on the field at the same time doing their job.
How's been this week for you guys? Coach mentioned that you guys were in good spirits. For you, you guys when you were here last time.
Yep.
How was the difference between that time and now?
Obviously, we got here a little bit earlier in the week, but I would say it's actually been a big difference. We really got to see a lot more London. Obviously, at this awesome facility is pretty cool. So we got to see the weight room and everything, and we got to see the real football over here. So it's been nice to kind of early in the week kind of get to see London, later in the week focus on football. So it's been a really good mix of the two, to where I think whether you come on Monday or Friday, the guys want to see London. So it's better, I think, to get it out of the way early.
Compared to like 2017, as far as just your feeling and sleep-wise, and do you feel like you're way more adjusted now than 6 years ago at this time?
Yeah, that was my rookie season, so everything was pretty exciting for me. But I think for most of the guys, early in the week, everyone was like, man, the flight. But now everyone's waking up pretty normal now. So I would say for the team, and everyone feels a little bit just better sleep-wise adjusted.
Do you have a specific strategy to deal with the jet lag?
We've had a lot of different options for us. So last night we had I guess a breath work sleep thing. It was on Zoom, and then you kind of just fell asleep. So that worked pretty well. There's been a lot of different things with our nutritionists and different planning to kind of, if you still have jet lag, I think it's just about all done with now. But it was kind of recommended plans for what you should do, and I think most of the guys kind of abided by it.
With the nature of your 2 losses and also with the 2017 game in mind, how important is it for you to make a statement on Sunday?
Yeah, it's big. Every time I tell the London story, it's always ended with bad. So that's been the biggest thing. You come all the way this far. Got some fans that might have never seen the game before. So many exciting things going on, and it's all cool. But the biggest thing for us is you want to win. I think it sucks to come this far in front of great fans and then lose. So I know for me, I'm like the old guy. So a lot of guys weren't on the team in 2017, but me and the guys that we're just like, let's just win this one, and that flight home would be a lot more fun.